just got all settled in here. It's the afternoon of December the 19th. Doing something a little unorthodox tonight, to a certain extent. Not really though, not really all that out of the ordinary for me. Not afraid to do some ground hunting with the bow and run around on the ground whenever I feel like it's necessary or effective. I've got a good wind, but it could be dicey as the evening goes on. It's a south-southeast, which is perfect, just about. I'd rather have a straight east or an east-southeast. But I have seen some deer when they cross right here and feed in this cornfield. I've seen them work just a little bit to the west of where I'm sitting. Hopefully they don't do that tonight. If they do, there's the possibility that I may get picked off. One of these deer might smell me. The reason I'm set up where I am, I'm back on the home farm tonight, is because I came in here after the flared buck. I'm hunting him tonight. You know, I've mentioned it before, but you know, it's pretty cut and dry. The one buck that I've chased all season long, Wally, on that small permission piece, he simply is not there right now. He just is not utilizing that part of his home range in this part of the season, in the late season. I have been lucky and got a picture and a video of him. I believe that was last week, but just like I suspected, it was in the middle of the night, 3:42 a.m. I believe. I don't believe he's very far from the property whatsoever, but he didn't spend any time in the winter and in the late season on that property last year, other than, you know, passing through in the middle of the night, like I talked about. So I knew going into this season, if I didn't get it done on that buck before the rut was over, that I probably wasn't going to be able to hunt him in the late season because we just don't have the food, and he's simply not going to be there. As far as hunting that buck, I think my hands are tied, and I'm just going to have to pray that he makes it through this season, and that I can continue the hunt for that deer next season. With that, I've decided that if I want an opportunity at any other mature buck, any other target buck that we have for the remainder of the season, then I'm just going to have to shift my focus elsewhere. I'm going to have to shift my focus onto another deer and try to get on a different buck. The one buck that we know is mature and that we've been able to see some sort of consistency out of is none other than the flared buck. I've mentioned it a bunch, but this deer is very small racked. He's not a big deer at all, but I also talked about the fact that this property is just big enough that we can have somewhat of an impact from a management standpoint by taking out some of these deer. And so because of that fact, we targeted him and another mature buck that we call Dink this year, because they both are mature, we know for sure, and they both have poor genetics. Dink has been a no-show for several weeks now, but the flared buck, on the other hand, we've seen him a couple different times, and as a matter of fact, he's been very, very daylight active throughout the season on camera. I actually came and hunted here on October 25th and had him bedded in front of me at about 30 yards, and decided not to even attempt to get him to move my direction, or not to even try to take a shot. A few nights ago, Jonathan and I came to hunt here, tried to shoot a doe or two, and that night we had a bunch of deer, a pile of deer, well over 20, came out on this side of this field, and they came from right here at this end of the draw, jumped the fence, and came right out to this grass patch in this low spot in this field, and fed out into the field. And one of those deer was the flared buck. Got a little footage of him, but it was far away. It wasn't very good, probably grainy footage. The very next night, I came back out. Some deer started to pop out from this side of the field once again, and the flared buck came out. I think he was like the third or fourth deer in the field, and he came out in what looked to be the exact same spot. They came out right in line with this grass, this little grassy strip, grassy patch in the low spot in this cornfield. And so here I am. That's why I'm here. I'm about 30 to 35 yards from any part of that grassy strip right here. And I've got decent back cover with this hedge tree that I'm sitting by. I've got decent cover around me with some of this bush honeysuckle. You can't really see it on camera, but I'm hoping that this is enough to keep me broken up. With any luck, we can at least get a closer look at the flirt buck tonight. Possibly get a shot at him. That would be fantastic, but we'll see.